Welcome back to GearWire.com. This is part one of our two-part look at the Akai Head Rush E2. It's the second version of this tape delay / looper pedal. This is a 3-mode pedal. There's a tape delay mode, which we are going to be looking at in the second video. And there's also what's called normal delay and then the looping recorder. Now, normal delay works in a sort of, well, a quasi-stereo mode or mono mode. You can see along the top here we've got 2 outs going on right now. Our first output is going to be our main output where our dry signal is going, and that's going to a Laney VC30. And our second output here, which just says effect, is where the delay effect is going to be routed to, which is the AC15. It's kind of wacky. When you have the effect off, you can only play through 1 amp. So you're effectively, if you're using a dual amp setup, you're effectively only using 1 amp for the sort of delay tone. It's kind of wacky. I don't know. It's strange. Anyway, let's check out some of the controls. You can see how there's sort of like a color coding system because each of these controls has sort of multiple sort of functions depending on what mode you're in, or no function at all in some modes. Anything that's in white is sort of a master control, like the level, which controls the output level of the effect. That's white because it's true for all 3 modes. In this normal delay mode, anything that's in yellow is going to be sort of correctly identifying the control. First, we've got this high-frequency damper. Let's turn the effect on again. High-frequency damping is each successive repeat just kind of gets less bright. If we bring it down even more. And basically what that's doing is emulating the sort of, naturally the lossy generations of magnetic tape. The first tape echoes, the first delay effects were all tape-based effects. And that kind of simulates that sort of organic loss, degradation, generation degradation. Now, feedback controls the amount of repeats. If we've got it all the way to the left, there's only 1. And as we get further to the right, there's more. We can have it sort of almost go on for infinity here. Let's bring it back down. And now we've got 2 time control knobs here. There's coarse time control and fine time control. There's also a tap tempo for controlling your delay. Time just kind of like takes over of that. This is the coarse time adjustment. And then you can do fine tuning with the fine tuning knob. Not really sure why you'd need 2 separate knobs, but kind of cool maybe. Well, that's basically it for the normal delay mode. Let's move on to loop record mode. Now, loop record mode basically makes all of these controls obsolete. The only controls you're going to be using are the level controls, which, well, sometimes you can make that obsolete too. This little switch you can put over to fixed. This says right here, looping level. If you go fixed, then it just matches the same output level that your dry output is set at. And if you go to vary, then you're using the level control to control the level of the recorded loop. Looping time basically determines whether it's how much memory the pedal is allocating to whatever loop you're recording. There's not a lot of memory on here. And it's a pretty basic looper on this guy, although a pretty usable one. It's very easy to sort of restart your loop on the downbeat. And let me show you what I mean here. Now you can hear that the output is only going through our second amp, which is an AC15, and whatever I'm going to be playing over this loop now is going to be going through the dry out, which is going into our Laney VC30. Very similar sounding amps. you get the idea. Those are two of the three modes on this pedal. In video 2, we're going to be looking at the tape delay mode. This is the coolest mode in this pedal. This pedal has a total of 5 outputs. I was looking through the manual, the user's manual, and it has this schematic where there's a guitar plugged into this guy, and then this guy's being sent out to 5 amps. And I was like, who has 5 amps? And then I realized that the answer was GearWire has 5 amps. I'd stay tuned to part 2 of our look at the Akai Head Rush E2 if I were you. You're watching GearWire.com.